A cargo ship is sailing above a speeding train right now, both in Victoria Harbour, simultaneously. She reads her phone. Above her, a cargo ship. Below her, the harbor floor. She doesn't know. That crane operator has no idea there is a train tunnel 3 meters under his foundations. Strip the harbor floor back. There they are, 11 concrete boxes, 23,000 tons each. Trains inside. 1 drop of water, 30 meters of concrete below it. Then, a train full of people. The harbor is 400 meters from that sign. East Rail stuck here for 43 years. 500,000 people every morning. They hit the harbor and stop. The east of Hong Kong, disconnected. Every pipe and tunnel below Hong Kong belongs to someone else. The new railway goes in anyway. Why not build east? Because the harbor is 1.4 kilometers wide, 5 tunnels already under that harbor. The 6th must thread between them. 90 meters of space. That's the geological layer cake. Every layer behaves differently under a drill. Build sections on land, float them, sink them one by one. The readings are confirmed at this location.
Understood.
Preparing the next phase. That red line threads through 5 tunnels, 30 meters of harbor, and 10 years of someone's life. How do you build a harbor tunnel on land? In a quarry, then float it out. 1 wall between the sea and 11 tunnel sections. When casting is done, that wall comes down. 23,000 tons of steel per section. The rebar cage is so dense, workers climb through it. The casting bed is 340 millimeters out of level. Cast now, and the tunnel never aligns. Grout fills the low spots, 5 millimeters flat across 160 meters. Confirmed. Then the concrete can go in. 36 hours non-stop. C45 concrete. Thermal sensors inside. 1 cold joint, and the element fails. Touch this anchor plate. 30 meters of harbor is coming. These tendons hold the roof. 1 tiny gap in this waterproofing, and the harbor fills the tunnel. Every millimeter inspected. The seawall comes down. The harbor floods in. 23,000 tons of concrete rises. It floats. 30 months of casting. 11 concrete boxes. The quarry is empty. Time to enter the harbor. GPS towers on the roof. Engineers can track 23,000 tons to the centimeter. At night, on open water. 5 tugs ready. Victoria Harbour ahead. They go in at night. The harbor lane is 200 meters wide. The tunnel element is 18. This is the tightest part. 23,000 tons moving through a live shipping lane. The ship on the left doesn't know. They are cutting a trench through 30 meters of harbor silt. Then, the tunnels go in. 100 millimeter tolerance on the trench base. Get that wrong, and the element tilts. Permanently. The gravel bed is screeded flat underwater by laser. 20 millimeters tolerance for 23,000 tons. Marine police close 200 meters of the world's busiest shipping lane. 48 hours per element. The immersion pontoons grip the element. Ballast tanks fill slowly. The descent begins. 30 meters down. The rubber Gina seal compresses between 2 23,000-ton boxes. That compression is the watertight seal. A cargo ship anchor dragged across the gravel bed. 180 millimeters disturbed. Element 4 cannot go down. Abort. Hold it at 15 meters. Re-screed the bed below it. Reconfirm 20 millimeters. Descent resumes. It lands. A second seal goes in from the dry side. 2 seals between the passengers and the harbor. The final element lands on the seabed. Harbor crossed. Now hear from the man who held it. 4 days holding 23,000 tons at 15 meters. That is the one that nearly broke us. The trams above are shaking the road. The TBM below shakes the ground. Neither knows the other. 7 tunnel boring machines. 4 separate drives. The ground changes between them. Pressurized slurry holds the face. The TBM drills in a bubble, 3 meters to the harbor. 400 old building piles are directly in the path. Break through or go around. No other way. The lining ring goes in before the TBM moves. No ring, the ground above collapses. Simple. The TBM is jammed 400 meters in. An uncharted concrete raft stops the cutter head completely. Probe port confirms the raft. Grout it from street level. TBM resumes in 8 days. Explosives in live Hong Kong granite. The blast calculated to spare the buildings 10 meters above. 200 sensors on buildings above. 1 reading over limit and blasting stops immediately. No exceptions. A 300-meter excavation with 50-year-old apartment blocks on all 4 sides. Diaphragm walls hold them. Workers hit a 900-year-old Song Dynasty site under the station box. 11 months lost. $20 billion in delays. The station is redesigned around 900-year-old wells. The structural grid shifted 3 meters sideways. For a 900-year-old well, engineering lost that argument. 3 buildings start sinking too fast. Emergency underpinning teams work through the night to hold them. 6 meters above the TBM crown, Harcourt Road. Cars above. The TBM is threading the needle. An inspector finds a disconnected rebar coupler buried in a live station wall. He finds 1,900 more. Everything at Hung Home Station stops. MTR halts, all pours. Every wall is under investigation. A new steel frame takes the load away from the defective walls. The walls are bypassed. $650,000 tons of rock removed to install the fix. Under a live station, without stopping the trains. The crane needs to secure that load before we can proceed. Look, there it is! Incredible!